Alrighty. Shout out.
To peanut butter?
Yeah, we're best friends. She wanted to sing with me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, she wanted me to be in a film clip.
Anyways, guys, welcome to another episode.
It's such an old song.
I know. You know how long it took us to find a song. So, guys, please, if you have any song requests, any new jams you're listening
usually
to,
usually I hear good songs when I'm with my brothers, my younger ones.
Please send it through.
My younger brothers, but you know, when you start hanging around with old people like this in lockdown, you just tend to listen to the same thing over and over again.
We don't know what's new and current, guys. So send through whatever you're listening to.
Yeah, you don't want to look at my SoundCloud and my Spotify.
Help us
honestly.
out. We're only listening to podcasts.
All right, cool.
Anyways.
Let's get into it.
So today is Monday the 26th of July. It's about 4:45 and we're just out going to get some essentials because it's lockdown.
Happy lockdown, everybody.
5.
Stay positive, we're going to be like this to the end of 2021. So just accept it. Accept it.
Anyways, whatever. Hope you're all well, fam. Okay, so today's topic, we wanted to talk about how we're teaching our children. How we're teaching our children what?
Why we need to teach our children about sexual abuse. Sexual abuse. Now my tongue, I was eating something earlier and the tongue was rolling.
Sexual abuse.
Yeah, why we need to teach our children about sexual abuse.
Yes.
Abuse.
So we wanted to talk about consent and what we're doing and how we're going about that with our children. So, in case you don't know, we are proud parents of 5 children. We've got 3 girls and 2 boys, and our girls are 6, 5, 4. And one of the things that we do with them is...
Yeah, but let's explain the why, man.
Yeah, so the why. Oh yeah, why?
Yeah, why is this topic important?
Because we want to protect our children. But in order to protect our children, we need them to understand what it is that we're protecting them from. Do you know what I mean? So the first place that we got to go to is I feel is to teach them about their body and teaching them like consent. You know, what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. You know, and I feel like this is very important for us as parents to implement, especially in our culture. Hey.
Yeah, it's a very taboo. Yeah, 100%. My parents are Tongan. You know, it's not something that they have conversations about in Tonga. Like in Tonga, it's a very. I love my culture, but in Tonga, it's these topics are just overlooked. You don't talk about it.
Yeah.
You don't address it until it's happened.
Yeah, I feel like the way that they address it is like what's the word? Customs? No, like like for example, like what's a like whakapapa, like
you respect.
Yeah, like do you know what I mean? Like I feel like Samoan culture or the way that I was raised, my mum said, so like when we were around like our elders or like boys or whatever, like we'd always wear like an earlobe lover.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a Samoan thing because I feel like my house was like my father's Tongan, so I feel like our house was mixed. Like I don't really know. I don't know what is what. Like I don't know what belongs to which.
Yeah. I think a lot of the Polynesian, I'm speaking Polynesian culture. Yeah. There's a lot of respect around men respecting women and vice versa.
Like there's a lot of segregation almost.
Yeah, it's like it's.
Like for example, we couldn't watch movies with like our brothers.
Yeah, the real Tongan way, custom Tongan way, it's good. It's really good. But I personally view, I didn't grow up in Tonga, but I grew up here. Just address the problem. Just address it. Yeah. If they had these conversations, at the start, then
you wouldn't have these stories of like.
Yeah. But not like I don't blame my parents for not. I never really had a conversation like this around sexual abuse, around consent, around even the word sex. I never even had that conversation with my dad probably until I was getting married, but not even what I mean. It's like you just kind of you just talk about it, but you don't talk about it. Yeah, and that can be a problem. Yeah,
I think it is a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem.
So that's why we are trying to have these conversations with our children and at a very young age. I don't feel like they can ever be too young to teach them. Obviously, like, you teach what's appropriate, but that I feel like that's the why behind, is because we want to protect our children.
Yeah.
And so
but
they know. So
can you share that
aware.
story? Because then that's a really great, like, epiphany.
Oh yeah, so the story. So there was a story that I read before, and this teacher and her student, I think she was like maybe 6 or something, and she kept kind of telling the teacher, what's the word? Okay, anyways, and she kept kind of telling the teacher like, my uncle touched my cookie, or something like that. My uncle touched my cookie, or plays with my cookie, something along the lines of that. And the teacher was just like, oh, okay, like she didn't understand what the little girl was talking about. And then when it came to parent-teacher interview,
so she was probably just kind of egging it on and like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah, because she didn't understand, because she said cookie, like what's cookie, you know?
Yeah.
And so she didn't understand, and so then whatever, like the student would, the little girl would tell her this kind of casually, like, and then when it came to parent-teacher interview night, and the teacher met with the mum, and the teacher said, oh, by the way, the little girl, say Susie, Susie always says that her uncle plays with her cookie, and her mum just like froze and was just like petrified, because Cookie was the name that she had taught her daughter for vagina.
Yeah.
And like, and so the story goes, uncle was reported, and that was dealt with. But I think the moral of the story is like,
just say the body part.
Just teach them the body part, because when you give like your private parts cute names, like things like this go amiss. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's very important for us as parents to just teach our kids the proper names of their body parts. Like a vagina is vagina, like your bum's your bum, like you've got an arm, you've got an eye, you've got a leg, like it is what it is. Like I think with our older generations, like the generation.
So what does a boy have? A doodle?
A doodle. We'll get there. So like, you know what I mean? Like, just teach them like their body parts. Like, don't make it an uncomfortable topic. Like, it doesn't need to be an uncomfortable topic. Just understand that like head, shoulders, knees, and toes. There's a vagina, there's a penis, there's a bum. Like, just teach him it. And so the way that we teach our children is almost daily, to be honest. So when we shower our girls or they go for a bath.
Yeah, wait, just go back, because I know you're moving forward, but that's powerful. Like, to really, do you see the importance of why you need to teach your kids the right, body part? Because, and so what happens is, if you don't teach it in the home and they don't become familiar with it, guess what happens? Unless you're living in the Amish people, where they're just in one place, they're going to go out to the world, they're going to go to school, they're going to go be out with their friends. We live in a technology time right now. True?
Yeah.
They're on technology, they're on TikTok, they're on Instagram, they're exposed, they see the world, and then when they see it, it just doesn't, it just doesn't make sense, and, these when problems happen, so.
Yeah. Yes, April, can I ask you a question, please? What's your bum called? What's it called? Yeah, but I ask you a question and then we go, okay? Can you help me? Okay, what's your bum called? Bum? What's the front called? Now, what's the front part called?
Front's called back.
Vagina. Is anyone allowed to touch your vagina? Say it louder.
No.
And what do you do if someone touches it?
Mommy.
Tell mommy.
Mommy.
And are you allowed to touch anyone's vagina? Good girl.
She said yes.
Do you say yes or no? Are you allowed to touch anyone's vagina? Is it April? Yeah. No.
No.
Yeah. April said no.
Yeah.
So.
But see, like that topic, no way I would talk like that, have that conversation with my dad. You know, they'd be like, "Ah." You know what I mean? Like, and I don't blame him. It's just that it wasn't something that he did growing up. So, you know, but like
to break that
trying to
chain.
break it. But like I said, what happens is, then you go to the world, you go to primary school and you go to high school, and your friends are talking about this. You're like, no, I don't want to talk about that. You know, like, and it just becomes a very taboo thing, and it's not addressed.
If you're not learning, if your kids aren't learning it at home, the world is going to teach you.
Man, 100%.
They will learn out in the world, and it's just not going to be the way that you as a parent would have them learn. So you better, it's better for you to teach them in the home for then the world to teach them. So that's what we do. So when we give our when the girls have baths and showers and we change them after, like I point to their body parts, their private parts, and I ask them, what's this? What's that? Are you allowed to, is anyone allowed to touch this? No. What do you do if someone touches it? Tell mummy. Are you allowed to touch anyone else's private part? No. So these are like just very simple questions that we like go over like daily with them. And we're just like, we're ingraining it. We're making it just comfortable. Story, when I was giving birth to Sanson, I was kind of like, I was nervous in him coming into the picture because all my girls have seen vajayjays. I hate the word vagina, by the way. Vajayjays. I'm just gonna say vajayjay. I know I'm being a bit of a hypocrite, but I hate saying it. But vajayjays, and I was nervous. Do you remember? I'm like, what do we do? Like, so for a while we were hiding Sansan, like changing his nappy, and we would tell the girls like, oh, go over there, because I didn't know. I just didn't know. Like I thought that saying penis was too confronting for me. Like I felt that it was just like too confronting. And then I remember being at church and being in nursery, and I was changing his nappy, and one of the little girls came and she goes, oh, is that baby's doodle? And I was like, it took me off guard.
Yeah.
And I started laughing. I was like, oh yes, it is his doodle. And then from then I started to teach the girls.
A little girl in nursery taught you that.
Yeah.
Taught me. Gave you the courage.
To allow the girls to be around when I'm changing Sansan. So from then we called it doodle. But now we're teaching them the proper name, which is penis.
I think the word is prevention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like preparation brings around prevention. Prevention. Like that's what we're doing. Preventing
that from happening.
And it's our responsibility as parents. Us as parents, you can sit there and think about, oh, that person's gonna say that, or that's the person. You know what I mean? But it's not about them. It's about my children. It's about prevention. It's about me. I'm my kid's father and guardian, and I have to protect them. It's my responsibility and your responsibility to teach it. Even if it's a taboo, and I cringe sometimes when Nana does this to the kids. I cringe because it wasn't something normalized, but I'm like, I get it. I understand why. So it doesn't really matter how I feel. It's about protecting the kids. That's it. Full stop.
And plus, like, protecting your child doesn't mean you shout to them and you're like, oh no, they can't go here or they can't go there, or like, like stopping them from going to other people's houses or going to friends' houses or being around other people. Do you know what I mean? Like, preventing is also educating. Is educating them, and that's what we're trying to do by simply teaching them proper name parts, asking them questions such as, who's allowed to touch this? What do you do if someone touches it? Are you allowed to touch another person? And so so that's what works for us. We do it on a daily basis, and I'm not one to tell other parents like how to raise their children, but on this particular topic I feel it is important to take into consideration. And
Awesome. No, I just like I said, like I feel strongly about that. I'm the parent. If you have children, you're a guardian. It's your responsibility to protect.
Yes.
You know, and part of that and educate. And so part of that is, you know, having these conversations. They might be uncomfortable, but like I said, it's better us having these conversations now than later on.
Yep. So
All right,
thanks,
cool.
guys. Remember to like, comment, and share. We'll see you guys next week.